Hi guys, my name's Subtutor, I'm the man on the Silver Mountain, and welcome back. Now today, before we jump into taking a look at Vivian, the new champion, the first thing that I want to take a look at is the VIP system. Partly because I feel like it's incredibly greedy, but also because I feel it's broken. Because we've got, several weeks now, everything seems to be polished off. There doesn't seem to be any more to the Premier League, as it were, for the time being. And so as a result, where I've made correct picks, in some cases, here for instance, I have gained 400 points. But for instance over here, where I made a correct pick in the first week, no reward there either, so that was 2 for the first week. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so that's another 1,300-ish points in theory that I should have got hold of, but my point score hasn't changed. So that seems kind of broken, but then also some of this stuff, as I said before, this seems kind of greedy in regards to some of the other stuff that's kind of available. But also, something else I noticed in taking a look at Vivian, which, by the way, looks kind of cool. She's got a kind of bottom heavy body shape, which is kind of interesting to see. But also in regards to most of the characters, like for instance Terminus, the last one to be released, I got the voice pack with him because I've got the Founders Pack, which unlocks all the characters for me straight away. There was a reason why I made that investment in the game. But now Vivian apparently still don't. I've got her as a character, but I don't have the voice pack, even though I've got it for every other character, and I'm going to have to purchase it now. In which case, it's again like, why the change? Is it an oversight? Is it now that they're just abandoning kind of what they said in regards to voice packs and character unlocks for founder players? Who knows? But anyway, let's get into the character that we're actually here to take a look at. We've got her light machine gun, which fires shot every 0.14 of a second, dealing 200 damage. So that's a lot of damage, just under 2,000-ish damage a second potentially. Effective up to medium range, which we'll take a look at in the shooting range in a minute. And while firing, you move for 50% slower. Fair enough. Precision sights, look down the barrel of your machine gun, you gain accuracy but moves 50% slower, but it doesn't stack with the slowdown on here, so that you're only, basically, if you're firing your weapon, you are going to be moving 50% slower. This seems completely pointless to me, and I'll show you why when we get into the shooting range. The sensor drone seems fine. The deflector seems reasonable, considering it's kind of a kind of middle ground between either Fernando or Androxus, with the exception of she can still fire whilst doing it. And a lot of this character so far, just from these first 4 skills, reminds me of more a kind of Rainbow Six Siege character. I can't remember his name, but the dude who fits the shield onto the top of his gun, and stuff. So that seems out of place, but it's not horrible in and of itself. I mean, the precision sight seems maybe a little unnecessary, but fair enough. But then we get to the bit that's again broken, and this seems to happen with all of the ultimates and things, more so than anything else. They seem to just be really broken. Summon 2 sentinel drones that fire energy blasts while you shoot your light machine gun. Each sentinel fires once per second, dealing 250 damage. So that's an extra 500 damage per second. And they persist until destroyed or the player is killed. So basically there's no... You can charge up and charge up and charge up your ultimate, and these things will just sit there until they're either destroyed or whatever else, and then you can just pop them back up. Your shield is also big enough to hold them, and as you can see, these guys have kind of small hitboxes as well. They're kind of small things. So, you know, there's some stuff there that just kind of bugs me. But she seems to be focused on taking out shields, so so she seems to be very much a tank killer. I don't have a lot of essence at the moment, so I'm not going to be probably unlocking stuff all that much. Taking a look at her, making a build for her though, like as I've said, precision sights don't really seem to be worth all that much, and neither necessarily does the sensor drone to me. But the rest here, so like the heal for 10% of the damage dealt to shields, considering the amount of damage she can do, that and she's being kind of prompted towards hunting down tanks, that seems like a really good one. Same in regards, and especially considering the price of it is so cheap. And then in regards to some of these others, I'm thinking maybe the increased deflector time would probably be a good one. But yeah, it's for the most part, I don't see a lot of her, like, reduced recoil by 20% while using the precision sights, fine, but I don't think that it's really necessary. And let's go jump into the shooting range so I can show you why. Because
put the hat on. Put the hat on. It's great. I like that hat.
When I was watching the patch preview, the impression that I got for this character, just in watching what they were doing and how her ultimate doesn't have a duration limit or anything like that on it, was that firstly that seemed kind of broken to me anyway. But then the way to seemingly beat this character is by going in with a character like Terminus that's close range and kind of broken anyway. And again, balance wise, I don't feel like we should be playing a game that's focused around a broken character to beat a broken character when everyone else is still kind of when we've got characters that are in trouble who this character is going to take out, like Fernando for instance. So she gets headshot damage, and like, okay, so she's not full damage here. That was 130-ish, so that's 200-ish. Okay, so, and she's at 125, I think. So we're just under. Oh no, she's at 100. So we're that's just under 100 units range.
And here the story begins, as the prime blood has been spilled.
And you know, yeah, there's recoil, but like keeping that dot on people, you know, the headshots are all right, but they're not necessary. How far's the range on that? I don't know if that's because it can't see through the pole and it can only see them. So let's slap one on the wall proper. Right, okay, so that's what, probably about 75 unit range for that as well. So that's considerable. But hold on, let's just churn these guys down to get our ultimate up to make a point of just how broken this is.
Unstoppable. The thing that comes before
there we go, and so now we pop them up.
For some reason we're counting by odds only.
Just little, but they do little explosions as well, so she's got AoE damage. It's kind of insane. But let's go around and take a look at what her deflector shield can do, because that's the only thing that's kind of left to take a look at here. So, and
but not really.
we just chew her up before she can do anything, and it seems to protect our little drones as well, and our ultimate charge is again going up whilst we're able to fire, like from this angle.
Okay, seriously? 2 kills at the same time. Can't do 14 in a row.
So basically, even if someone manages to tag these and blow them out of the air, then we can charge ourselves up really quickly and get back into it. Again, another character where Cronus probably isn't that helpful, but morale boost is. But right, let's jump into a bot match now, because we need to see this in action, I think. Because this, like, I'm getting a bit fatigued with the lack of perspective and the really poor approach to balance in this game at the moment. Putting in a lot more stuff for kind of here, look at these shiny things, rather than kind of here, have some substance to the game that actually makes sense and that's kind of a resilient part of the game. So yeah, let's see how this goes in action, because it could be that she just gets taken out really quickly, even with that deflector and whatever else. So we'll see. But we've got 2 tanks here, so we've got 2 tanks, a shield. We've got a nice kind of blend here of kind of different characters. You know, I don't know how Barrack's going to want to play, if he's going to play like a Torbjorn, or if he's going to try and play up front, and which is probably going to be a bit more of a struggle with his shield and things the way that he is at the moment. But then we've got a Terminus there as well, who's just still horribly broken. But who are we up against? So we've got Tyra, she's high damage. We've got Victor, he's high damage. Genos is very aggressive. I mean, we're up against a very aggressive opposition there. So you know, we'll take advantage of all of it, but let's take morale boost so that we can get those drones up faster, because that's what we're going to want to do. So we get the drones up, and then after we've got the drones up, then we just blast away until everything is dead, sit behind our shield, all things are good. I mean, Barrack's got his turrets and things, but I think between Terminus and I, with Ying kind of giving us some support, we're not... I mean, I think we'll be pretty stable. I mean, I don't think... I don't think we're going to run into any problems with this whatsoever, because we'll just chew up the enemy team. Where are they? There they are.
And here the story begins, as the prime blood has been spilled.
It's just, just to keep a good view on our little arena of war here.
Attack.
And we're just gonna choose straight through them. I mean...
Killing spree.
Like, I such significant damage, and we haven't even got our ult yet, just due to how quickly we're I'm feeling like the way I felt when we played Terminus last time we took a look at these characters. Yeah, last time we took a look at a new character, I felt like it was horribly broken because we just chewed our way through stuff. But you know, this is insane, and we're about to get our ultimate as well, which means we're only going to be worse for the enemy team. Like, this is
4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, Maeve, you decided to get in my face. That's just a bad idea.
That's 9 in a row.
Straight up.
We're counting by odds only.
Straight up quadra kill. Oh man, straight off the bat. Like, Terminus is doing his thing, but Terminus is going to explode. You got, what, a double? Like, we can sit back and play the point, and it makes no difference. I've not had to use my shield yet at all. Possibly because we've had a decent healer, but...
Where are they?
Enemy
Oh.
double kill.
The assistants?
Okay. Miscalculation, because we decided to step out, and we had
A setback.
a Victor drop explosives on us, but that's fine. We're already halfway back to our ultimate.
Taste of defeat. My special touch. Give them hell.
Let's see.
Good now.
Does that help? No. Okay.
Enemy double kill.
Oh look, we won.
I'm not surprised.
One death due to me being like overextending slightly into the line of fire. Sky got the play of the game due to a bomb, I would imagine.
Time's ticking.
Because she can throw the bomb, which means that Sky remains horribly balanced. Let's see how we did. Okay, so we took top damage, but then again, we were always going to blow our way out through everyone else. So most eliminations, yeah, we did our job, in other words. So how did we do overall in the team? Most credits, second highest streak. Well, yeah, including assists and things. Okay. Apart from Ying, most objective time, most damage. Yeah, like this character is just about churning through people, and the thing is, the way that she does it is like, if I hadn't taken that one step out too far into Victor's line of sight, and if he had just shot at me, so it would have hit a shield instead of like hitting me with bombs there, then like we would have kind of been fine. We wouldn't have died once, and we would have just rolled straight through. But yeah, this character again just seems really, really broken, like overpowered compared to other characters, kind of generally, either within the same field or outside of it, just due to that unlimited ultimate that increases her damage by so much. You know, it's and also giving her that splash damage from the damage increase as well. Like, as said, I feel like the way to beat her is with a strong approach from something like a Terminus that gets in close, flusters her, and then can strike through her shield. So even an Androxus or something sweeping in close and then delivering a couple of punches or something like that. You know, I feel like that's the way to beat the character. But again, otherwise, there's like, most characters don't have that capacity to kind of get in close and move past those defenses, and like you're gonna have to splash her with damage to try and take out those little drone things. And if you've just by chance decided to or you have a team that doesn't have any splash, then you're kind of screwed in regards to taking out those drones without just killing her. And that in and of itself seems to be a difficult thing, considering she can increase her healing, her self-heal, through her cards, cheap cards as well, I might add. You know, she's, again, really remarkably powered, as opposed to and in ways that like either need to be reined in or not. But so far, hi-rez's track record of reining in broken characters isn't great. Lex, for instance, his ultimate, Sky, her ultimate, they're still sat very substantially outside of kind of, as with Skye, there's no high risk, high reward anymore. She just throws her bomb wherever she likes, as we saw at the play of the game there, and it blows up and can potentially wipe a team. Lex, if he's got, there's barely any leeway for an enemy team unless they have got a very, very potent healer like a Grover sat there looking to protect them. That he goes in and he can just flash out an entire team if they're on the point. And so, I'm actually getting kind of disappointed and almost worn out with how poor the balance is in this game, because again, we're not seeing characters that had roles previously. Like Barrack used to have a very strong front line role. Now he's mostly there to shoot things with his turrets because his turrets can't miss. And yet, that's not the role of a front line. He needs to be there to help his team push, to help his team cap, and yet he's not able to do that anymore, because if he's there to cap, then he's not there, his shields and things don't last very long, and then he's not there to push because his shields take too long to recharge. Like, it doesn't feel good to play, in my opinion, but also just statistically, just by the numbers, if you've got a push that happens after a few seconds, then you're not going to have that shield to push with people. That leaves your team undefended, and that's not the job. So if you're not, if that's not going to work, you're not going to pick Barrack, you're going to pick Ashe, or arguably even Fernando, but even Fernando's shield actually punishes him for working appropriately with his team. So again, that's an old quibble that I've that I've gone over several times, but this character and the way that her ultimate especially operates, and just how much damage output she has from her gun just by itself, it doesn't, to me, like, there are lots of people that be like, why are you complaining? It means you can just roll in with the character and just wipe people out. It's like, yeah, but in context of the entire game, if they feel too strong, it doesn't feel good. You need to be balanced against your opponents, and sometimes that can be hard, but it just takes a little bit of common sense. Yeah, in regards to this character, does the increase of 500 damage every second, and in addition to all the other damage she already does, is that a thing that makes her kind of slanted towards just being able to chew through people? Yes it does. Overly so compared to other characters? Yeah, actually. Like, I was sat here thinking, okay, there's a good chance this will feel like Tyra, because she just, or even Ruckus, because they just churn through people. Does it feel that way? No. It's in regards to comparing her to Tyra, another damage class, Tyra has to match up between her mark and potentially setting people on fire to then appropriately kind of use that high rate of fire and her grenade to kind of wipe people out. Yeah, it's still not, and she doesn't have any defensive abilities, so it's easier just to churn her out and kill her in response to her attack, whilst Vivian here has got a very strong defense, and she's already got a really high damage output and can output even more. Like, one of the things that was said in the dev stream by the guy that built Vivian was that he wanted it to be a character that people could just jump in, play, and whatever else, and it would just feel good from the get-go. But she's such an all-rounder, and yet she still excels in two different areas at the same time very, very effectively, that it's too much. It's outside of kind of the way that the game in theory should be balanced. But hey ho. Like, I'm actually starting to consider leaving Paladins alone for the moment, guys. Like, keeping track of how the game progresses, but making these videos and coming back to a game that I actually had a lot of hope for initially, when it was first kind of announcement trailered when it was a completely different game, and it was more of a kind of siege warfare of different fortresses on a wider map. You know, that looked good. And then I was hoping that when this kind of became more of an arena shooter, that it would still continue in that kind of trend, and it did for a while, and now it started to go downhill. There are various elements that I could point at, but I don't think any one individually is responsible for this. But it's just like, this is like, I'm actually getting tired of coming back to taking a look at this. You know, I'll probably address this in another video, maybe see what you guys would prefer I do, you know, whether or not you're finding these videos actually still useful or interesting to take a look at, or if you'd prefer that I just either, if I'm going to play Paladins on the channel, then I just play it with maybe Hannah, or just by myself, just going through some stuff whilst I'm rambling at you, or if you know, there's still a whole load of other games that I want to play and I started and would like to get back to. So, you know, there's a lot of potential one way or the other, but I don't know. As much as there are lots of things that I like about this game, they are becoming fewer and fewer simply because of the way that the game is being managed and developed. So, you know, it's, in which case, you know, for those people that want to continue to play the game, want to enjoy it, or who have bought into it and invested in it heavily, fair dues. But in regards to myself, then it's a case of, well, this isn't the game that I signed up to play. This isn't what I enjoyed from the outset, and so I'll take a step back maybe. But either way, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. That's my phone going off, so I will see you in the video tomorrow. Take care.